It's funny what you're saying there. Unexplained phenomena?
Oh, I don't know if they exist or not. We have to look for them.
Ghosts in Ottawa?
Maybe at the old prison?
No, I don't think there's ghosts in Ottawa.
In 2009, I had an accident. I worked in a garage and I was working underneath a truck on a lift and the lift malfunctioned, so the truck fell on top of me. I saw my brother holding the bumper of the truck. He had been dead for 3 months. I saw his entity holding the bumper. In my opinion, he saved my life.
Yvon came to see me. He might have experienced some paranormal activity, as had I. Otw Paranormal, hello? Here in the basement, we receive calls. We analyze all the data gathered from the investigations, be they video or audio.
We look at everything that might be considered an anomaly. We compare 2 or 3 different photographs. That way we can see if something moved. Here we have a dark shadow that doesn't appear on the other 2. Now I'm putting it at 41 minutes. I want to look at something.
Make it bigger? Make the image bigger. Okay, you're at 9:30, fast forward to 41 to see what will happen. One of our cameras moved to the left by itself. We see the hand of our investigator and the camera is in the corner of the room. Oh, and we just saw the camera move. Our cameras cannot move because they're locked.
Esotericism brings us back to ourselves. It's a lot more than just an anecdote because Occidental society has embraced science and technology. They swept away magic and mystery, everything to do with Descartes' cogito. I think, therefore I am.
Le credo cartésien, je pense, donc je suis.
I noticed I had abilities when I was about 7 or 8 years old. My grandfather was in a coma. He died a little while later, and when I walked into the hospital in the intensive care, I noticed his soul next to his bed, and I was asking myself, why do I see 2 of my grandfathers, one standing and the other still plugged to the machines? That is when I realized, okay, I am really alone in this. No one else is seeing this. I was traumatized, so I stopped talking about it. I stopped asking, can you see someone next to you? I stopped doing that. And at 17, one of my friends told me, why don't you help people? With your ability, maybe if you help them, it will help you. Some people will go to tarot card readings or... So this is the first time you've had a session like this?
Yes.
Just to explain to you what my ability is, I'm a psychic and a medium, so I can see the past, present, and the future. Medium is the ability to communicate with the great beyond. Physically, a medium is between 2 worlds, life and death. That's why they call it being a medium. Are you the one with the little white dog?
Yes.
Yes, okay, the little white dog. There's a woman who is talking to me right now. Spirits are drawn to me simply because they know I can see and hear them.
Okay.
And who is Matt? Mathieu? He's alive?
My ex?
Oh, okay, oops. Don't talk about that, talk about something else. I can filter the information. I will hear them and see them. It's your dad's mother that died, or who is the woman that had cancer? Normally, when I'm in a session, I start doodling. I have to occupy my hands. I'm a nervous guy. Yes, okay, well, say it quickly. Thank your sister for me, and I want to thank you all as well. I'm fine here. I'm with your grandfather. I'm often around him. I'm good where I am. That's what she's saying. With where she's buried or whatever. She's all right, and she misses you all.
Usually with people who practice esotericism, it gives them something. Some of them will say they have special powers, that they have this ability to contact the invisible. There's always this decision to make others participate in these powers because we see it as spiritual growth.
I died. I died at the hospital. I had one of these out-of-body experiences. I found myself in the corner of my room. I saw my doctor crying. When I saw her crying, I said to myself, I don't have the right to cause her this pain. And at that moment, I went back into my body. Sorcery is about changing destiny. It is literally about choosing a destiny. I have a very interesting year ahead of me. I will have some new battles. It lets me accept the fact that sometimes I can be a bit telepathic, that sometimes I have a strong intuition, that at certain times of the year, it's a lot easier for me to read the cards than others, to the point where sometimes I don't want to read them. I don't need to feel like I'm strange. I can just simply say, I'm something else, and that's okay. It's all part of the large number of human abnormalities.
Des normalités humaines.
One of the major themes in my life is being the only one, as in the only francophone, the only girl, etc., etc. As far as spirituality goes, a Catholic who at a certain time considered becoming a nun because she was such a believer, right up to the point where they told me, Lucy, you need to stop. You're too young, you're too beautiful, and you're too passionate. We do not need you. It was a rejection of me as a woman. And if you're not part of the church community, and you're a French Canadian, then you're a witch. There's nothing else.
In a city like Ottawa, it seems like a paradox because we are in this conservative area and esotericism is a breakout of that conservative mentality and traditional values. It defies the powers that be they religious, scientific, or political powers, which is why it's often underground. It's hidden.
The first time I met people who practice Wicca, it was 20 years ago. I had found information about this group of women who met up on a night with a full moon. I get there and they say, yes, you can participate, but we need to ask you a few questions. What makes you think you're a witch? After asking myself many questions and doing a lot of research, I decided that yes, I am a witch.
My youth was quite difficult because I thought everyone could see what I saw. I know that I was a very anxious child. I couldn't sleep at night because there were always these visitors that came by.
How many times he would turn his head like this. Lots of nervous tics.
The nervous tic that was the worst was with my eyes. I would blink like this. Well, it was because I saw something in front of me and I didn't want to. Get out of here. And if I wasn't blinking, I was shaking my head. Because I can't hear you. I don't want to hear you. Why are you doing this? Can you imagine? You go on a date today. So what do you do for a living? I'm a medium. It's a gift that even today people don't understand. And that's why it doesn't bother me to show people. Yes, it's entertaining for the people who are watching this, but for people like me, who deal with this every day, it's not easy. But I'm at a point where I love to do it. The waiting list is now at 1 year and 2 months for a session with me. I have roughly 80 people per month who want to book me, and these people come from all over.
Esotericism has always existed. It has always been a part of humanity. That's what's fascinating. You find it in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and ancient Greece. For example, the Romans believed that their ancestors' ghosts live with them in their homes. They didn't see it as a big deal. They had their ancestors with them, and they were happy to have them there.
Hello, kids. Hello. We are presently at the Ottawa University campus in the Department of Ancient History and Science and Religion. I'm a professor here. I have a degree in anthropology, and one of my specialties is in religious beliefs. They are big classes. In one of them right now, I have 400 students. Because I am an anthropologist of religion and beliefs, I can research the many practices, more or less occult and hidden, of many religions. And these are the 4 major Celtic celebrations of the year. For 20 years, I've been teaching a class called Magic, Witchcraft, and Occult Traditions.
A residual entity is a so-called ghost. There are entities that are intelligent. It's a ghost that lives in the home for one reason or another. But if we try to communicate with it, yes, it will respond. It will move objects. Can you turn it off? Turn it off. Can you turn on the light? Are you a little girl? This is marvelous. How old are you? 4? We used a flashlight when we dealt with a kid. We placed it on the floor and the flashlight only lit up to answer my questions. That was phenomenal. I'm currently watching videos on our present cases. I'm looking for something that can't be explained. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily paranormal. It just has to be something that can't be explained. Like in this video, we see a hand. Is it paranormal? It's so fast, but it looks like fingers and they don't look human.
What I'm doing tonight because it's Halloween or Samhain, which is this gate between the light part and the darker part of the year. It is this door that opens between the living and the spirits, the gods, etc. So I brought here a symbol of the goddess. It's at least 20,000 years old, but this is just a replica, obviously. But it's identical to the one that was discovered around 120 years ago. Man, woman, earth, water, air, and fire. It represents the universe. Wicca is really about nature. It's about becoming one with nature. And one of the things I will do will be to call on my ancestors and ask them questions. I will pick out tiles that will give me answers. For me, Wicca, yes, it's a religion and it's spirituality. So it gives me a certain morality as well, as a way of understanding the world. It gives the world meaning.
I got a call for an investigation. It would be an investigation at the old Ottawa Carleton prison. It's an old prison where many deaths occurred.
So what is it exactly that is happening?
We would be looking for a Patrick James Willem, who was hanged. Apparently, he was seen walking around holding his severed head in his hands. Everyone is on the same page. We know exactly what we're going to do. Now we need to check the equipment to make sure everything is working properly.
It's been 9 years since my 19-year-old son was brutally murdered. We still don't know who did it and why.
When crimes happen, the family will often communicate with me, sometimes with the police. Linda is a woman who heard of me and called me on her own.
I called Mark. I decided to call him. Mark, it's Linda Bellan. I know you have a year-long waiting list, but I don't have a year to wait. I've been waiting for 9 years. I need to know he's all right. It's been 8 years that I haven't been able to move on. It's going well? Finally.
So now we're sitting here and we already have a kid here. People called him Dougie? Dougie, okay. So just imagine he's sitting here, but like this.
That's him.
He's just looking at you.
He's looking at me?
Yeah. He says, I was at home and all I know is I was hit on the back of the head. I tried to get away. My room was the first place I ran to because my phone was there. And he says, I don't know if the police told you this. His phone was there?
Yes, he was found with the phone in his hand.
Whoever did it, I know it was a guy, but I can't tell you who it was because he was wearing a ski mask. He says he's doing fine though, and he says the truth might one day come out. Just be patient, but don't forget to live your life. Live your life, do it for me.
It's really true. Some people have amazing gifts, and Mark Jade has the most beautiful gift of all.
Oh, Mark. Oh.
So now we're going to the old Ottawa Carleton prison that was transformed into a youth hostel. Now we're going to go upstairs, we're going to install our cameras, our audio system, and each team will begin the investigation. We are passionate about living these experiences. Some people believe, some people don't. I respect people's opinions. Yes, I believe in ghosts. There must be something after death. Absolutely. Okay, this one. Can you lower this one a bit?
The only acceptable image for Ottawa is the government. I mean, it is after all the head of the government. So it's not a city that has a reputation for having a gay community or being esoteric. That's not its image. But all of that does exist.
We live in a world where we talk more and more about different religions. We are rediscovering older cults, older methods of communication with the divine. Christianity, Catholicism, among other religions, tried to suppress this for a long time. Now we are rediscovering this, and now someone who practices esotericism is no longer threatened of being killed and being considered a heretic. So people can come forward in public and say, this is how I live, I have these powers and can do something positive with it.
Certainly, there are skeptics out there, like I used to be. We have to respect people's opinions. Marc and Yvon in Death Row. Some people believe, some people don't. Us, we do the work and we have our findings. There's certainly something out there. I'm also skeptical about others, and I'm a skeptic when it comes to certain sciences.
There are beliefs that people have and on which they make decisions. So these beliefs have tangible effects. Tangible effects are real.
Les effets tangibles sont réels.